Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching DIY Dozier, and this is going to be episode number 8 of the bathroom remodel. Stick around. I'll show you the tools that are required and how to get the job done. Here we are in the bathroom with our blank canvas. Let me fish out of this lens a little bit. Boom, there we go. All right, so here we are. We have the shower pretty much framed in, knocked out the way we want it to be. And our bench over there. We got our niches right here. All right, so moving on. Next part of this project is going to be fixing this wall. So we are going to go from this wall out to here. It's going to dog leg over about 6 inches, and then it's going to go from there all the way over to here. And then this is going to be a wall right here coming down. So the object here, the goal, is this space right here is going to have shelving in it. As you can see, used to have shelves anyway, but we are going to put new shelves in it. The wall is going to be right here. It's going to come out to about right here somewhere. So right about here. That way when you walk into the closet and face to your left, you have this big pocket, this cubby hole from floor to ceiling that's got nothing but shelves. The doorway should be right across here. So we're going to extend this portion here about 1 foot. And then we're going to do our little angle. And after we do our little angle, it's going to start the doorway. So doorway across here. So starting right here with our floor plate in this section of wall, we're going to have a board that's going to go from this wall all the way over to right here, and then it's going to go around that vent right there and then just extend just a hair further to about right there where my foot is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to notch the board with a U. So the board will be solid over here up to this point, and then it's going to be cut out on this side of the board, so I can just horseshoe this thing up to the pipe like that, and we'll just leave it open on the other side. But it'll be horseshoed, come out to where it needs to come out to. So I need to measure the distance from there to here for my hole, and then I need to also measure the distance up high on that board from the wall all the way to the end here, because I need my board on the ground down here on the floor to be the same length as the end of that board right there. So let's go ahead and knock this out. So here we are with our first wall completed. Now we're going to kick this out here. We're going to come this direction with it, just a couple of inches, give enough room for a light switch to go there, and then we're going to angle this direction. Just a little note here while putting this cross stud in here. There will be power. There will be power down below this. Between this and that will be the outlet right here. So there's going to be a wire that's coming down this wall. So I need to make sure that I go ahead and drill a hole in this. My drill might not fit between this gap. I just checked it. It's a little bit tight. So I'm going to go ahead and get my spade bit and go ahead and drill this. So now this is taken care of right here, and I need to figure out how far out I'm going to go right here, which My wife says I need to go to this wall stud right here. So because she wants to go right there, that means I'm going to be stopping this wall right here before it angles. So with that said, I got to go ahead and put a floor plate across to here, and then I'll mark it off up there where it's going to go by measuring the base, and then just duplicating that measurement across there, mark my line. I'll go get a wall stud, put it in from here all the way up, and I think we'll have two. Yep, more than likely. Probably going to have one right about here somewhere and another one right about here somewhere. Moving along here, making good time. Got our next wall up. It's solid. We ain't good. All right, so now I got to figure out my angle between right there to right here for this opening. Same thing across the bottom here. I'm going to have to put a little piece of a 2x4 on the corner here with an angle on it, as well as over there to make the entryway, the door entryway. So. So after quite a while, I finally got my boards cut for the floor plate. There's our one there. It's just sitting in place. It's not actually screwed in. Same thing over there. As you can see, there was some drawing involved. So that's the width of the 2x4, the length of it, and that's the gap between it. So I did some measuring and drawing of lines and came up with that angle to get that piece there. Tried to use the speed square there. I'm not super good with crazy angles like that. If it was just a 45 degree, then fine, but this was like 31 degrees or something like that. It was crazy. Anyway, moving on. Okay, in the world of trial and error, here we are again with yet another hiccup. I measured the door. We have an 80-inch door, 80 by 30 door. So I gotta have at least 31 inches of space between here, which I've got 31 and a half between base to base, and 31 and a half between this and up here. So when I make my header, which is to go across at the 80-inch line, which is marked right there, header. So when I put my header here to go across, you need a jack stud or a king stud like this board right here. See how it supports the header like that? Well, that board I cannot add inside here. I can't put it against this because then I'm going to lose my space that I need between the door frame here. So, oops. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here on the back side and cut a few pieces of 2x4 that I can wedge in here to make this solid so it doesn't move. And I'm going to tie it from both sides, both these wall studs here. And once I make this really solid all the way down, then I'm going to come in here and take my Sawzall and cut this board right there on that line, and this will be my jack stud. So again, same thing over here. I'm going to cut this right there with my Sawzall, and then my header can rest on this and go across to there. And of course, I'll just cut higher up here where the other part is supposed to be. So a little bit of more work than I had anticipated with this right here. I made a boo-boo. But hey, we're all human, learn from it, right? So I got my little wedges put in the back side of this right here. You can see I got a screw there. Here's one there. It's about 6 or 7. Let's come over here and have a look. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but you get the idea. It's pretty solid now. I'm positive that when I put the header in, when I cut this board up here and I put the header in, that this is going to be solid. I won't have any issues with it. So. Boom. After a good bit of effort, we have a completed wall and doorway. This guy here was not supposed to go anywhere. This was supposed to stay. We've decided, since we're doing a black bathroom, I don't know if I said that or not, but everything is going to be black, pretty much black and gray. We thought about, changing just the top. The cabinets are fine. The vanity is fine. So we said, all right, we're going to just paint the vanity. Well, my wife liked the idea of having a gray cement looking colored cement top, because we are going to do gray tile on the floor and everything else. This is going to be black tile on the wall. We found a vanity top, and the vanity top, we are going to change things up. We're going to ditch the left sink. We're just going to keep the right sink. We're going to put a cabinet right here. Our cabinet is going to go out 15 inches. You see the line there I drew down the wall. It's 15 inches. That's actually 12 inches. Yeah, it's 12 inches. 12 inches from the corner of the wall, and then it's going to go 15 inches out. We were looking at 2 different cabinets, so you see I got a 12 there and I got a 15 there. So that's 15 inches out. 12 inches out this way. Puts us right there. Back over here. So our cabinet's going to go here. It's 60 inches tall. It means that light fixture is going to go. There's our mark, our line up there where it stops at. So that's where that's going to go. The next thing is that outlet is in the way. We are still going to keep 4 switches on the wall. I need to combine the outlet with the 4 switches. So more than likely what I'll do is I'm going to end up cutting away the drywall right here and see what's back here. I'm thinking it's going to be just like this side. And you look in here. They just stacked up some 2x4s against the wall stud, and then just spaced the box out into the wall. So over here, I'm probably going to just cut the drywall back all the way across to here. Probably much larger than this hole. It's going to be probably up to here somewhere. So cut across here, around the bottom, back up, and I'm going to take this box and slide it over. I'm not going to put the faceplate back on yet. I'm going to try to get as close as possible to this, because this frame is going to go away, and I'd like to get it up. If the box is against the wall stud on the corner here, then the plate should overhang a little bit. So we'll see, but I'm not prepared to take this out yet. So I'll slide the box as far as I can and just not put the faceplate back on yet. But anyway, got to go ahead and get this moved to the other side. There's a stud right here. We got to get it moved to the other side of that stud at least, and have the area open. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the power off. And after we get the power off, I'm going to pull that light off the wall, cap off the ends, and I'm going to pull this outlet here out and cap the ends as well. I'll have this wall cut open, and we'll get back to cleaning this area up later. So the light fixture is down, we got our hole in the wall, and the power is currently killed. I've already tested it on this outlet here. We are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this outlet out, pull the box off. So the camera died again while I was doing this, but you can see I got the faceplate cover back on for the light switch. I've got my wires capped, which go up to I don't know where, and I got my wires capped that go down. Anyway, all cleaned up. I broke out the shop vac, went ahead and cleaned up all my mess off the countertop. I need to get this mirror off of here. Again, terrified. We know how this goes. Everybody has a friend. Everybody took off a mirror, shattered it. Hopefully I can get this guy off in one piece. I'm going to try my best. I got to go find my gloves. They're in my truck. So let me go get my gloves, and then maybe you guys will get a show. Let's see what happens. So, something interesting worth noting, a little bit of mold behind the mirror. It's weird. I could see that if you look at the wall, zoom in here, you see there's streaking coming down the wall. That's from steam in here because of the previous shower that was here behind me, which is no longer here. Remember, the shower was right here. Well, there was no, exhaust vent right here. The exhaust vent was where the toilet used to be, which was right here, up there. So yeah, inadequate ventilation or exhausting of the hot water from the shower. It streaks down the wall here, and once it gets behind the mirror, it just stays back there in a dark environment, moist, no airflow. And as you can see, we have mold. Anyway, if you didn't notice, there was a trick here. I just took these shims, they're cabinet shims. I started at the top, stuck the shim in behind it, and started tapping it down in place with a hammer. And as it pries off from the wall, you can hear the drywall release. So I heard this one, you can hear it tearing slowly as I do it. So the louder it tears and the more it tears, you just get ready because it's going to pop off the wall. And that's pretty much what happened. So I just tapped them in up here. I felt this one release and that one. Then I tapped them over here and I felt these two release. And then start tapping over here, that one released, and then I could hear these bottoms start to release. And as they're just kind of going like that, as it's tearing away from the wall, I just went ahead and put all my tools down and, had my gloves on. And I grabbed with my hand and pulled a little bit, and it came right on free. So opened the door here, shouted for the missus. And she came around the corner. I had one hand up here on the wall like this, holding the mirror because it was free, and then I shouted for her to come, and she came in here. And then when she got in here, just slowly let it walk outward because it was tilting on this ledge. So I let it walk outward, and we both just kind of slowly lowered it down and drug it around the corner here. Yeah. Next up, I need to go ahead and get the faucets removed, get those lines capped. And then we're going to go ahead and start with removing the trim, the splash guard on both sides here. And after those are removed, then we're going to get the top off of here. That way when my guy gets in here on Monday, which is 2 days from now, he can get his measurements and we can cut our slab. It's a beautiful slab. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Can't wait. Let's get started. I didn't even think about it, but there is no cap in the lines. All we're going to do is shut that valve off and shut that valve off there on both sides of the sink. And we should be good to go. All you guys got to know is that it's dark and messy under there. So, yeah. There's that little guy there, and that little black guy there. They both screw onto the sink, hold it up in place. And then there's two water lines there, and then there's this little, your little trap drain mechanism, or whatever you want to call that. It's pretty much self-explanatory to get that stuff off once you get up underneath there. So, but it's all off. Anyway, got that one out. We'll get this one out. Then we'll get the splash guards out and start snatching the vanity. I already loosened up the fittings on the pipes. So those are loose. So this is free. So this can come out. And that's the bottom of the sink there. So that can come out of there. Yeah, so I noticed something weird. Like I said, never done this before. I just looked underneath the sink and there's no fasteners, nothing there. So I just grabbed my hand here and yeah, that just comes up. Oh yeah, this is ready to come out. I guess I'm gonna have to get the wife to come in and give me a hand. Sorry, she doesn't like being on camera. Just like that, we got the vanity top off. This will be permanently capped. We're just going to cap that line at the wall. I'm going to have my plumber remove that line and just cap it right there. And we're going to cap those two water outlets for the hot and cold, because we're not putting a sink back on this side. We're going to have a nice clean vanity top across here, and we'll have a sink on this side only. And like I said, the cabinet is going to go up there. So yeah, looks like we are ready to go to have our vanity top guy come in here on Monday. He's going to measure and cut this slab and then deliver it out here and install it for us. I'm excited. Can't wait to see it. I need to get my fixtures moved before we can have the tile installed. So I'm going to have to... we're getting a illuminated mirror. It's on the way. It's already been ordered. It's a 36-inch by 36-inch mirror. We did lots of measurements going back and forth. Obviously, it was done off camera. I was going to cut out all the drywall and fix it because it's all torn up here. But these are low spots. They're not high. As you see, that's a low spot there, right here. The tile is going to have thin set against it and on the wall. So as long as it's not a high spot, it really doesn't matter. This unsightly drywall where the vanity mirror came off, it will not be visible and it will have zero impact on it. So pretty sure we're going to just thin set right onto that, put the tiles on top and call it a day. But I need to move my fixtures. So this one, I'm going to have to jump across a wall stud. We have a wall stud right here. Actually, we won't have to jump across a wall stud on this one. This one, the wall stud is right here. I've already got it marked out. The next wall stud is right here. So all I have to do is cut my hole in the wall right here. It'll have to be a little bit larger than the circle, but cut my hole in the wall here and attach to the stud. Probably put a 2x4 against it here so that I can put this up against that, you know. And just drop that line down inside the wall. I'll just drop it down inside the wall and pull it out through the hole, and we'll be good to go with this one. This one shouldn't be too terribly difficult. This one, it will need to go past a stud. The wall stud is on the right of that box. So I'm going to have to drill through a stud this way, bring the wires through it, and then down. On the back side, that wall stud there is what I have to drill a hole in. So the new lighting should be right here on this, against this drywall right there. It shouldn't be too terrible to get to. The next thing that we have to move also is going to be not moving the outlet, but daisy chaining off the outlet. So we removed one previously. There it is on the floor. So we got two outlets that we've removed. This one still has the wire attached to it. It's probably 4 feet long almost. So it should be enough wire to daisy chain off this on the back here. And I'm just gonna bring the wire up. Just bring the wire up right around the back of this. This is gonna be a wall. I'm reaching through a wall here, so just bring the wire up and around, and we'll put an outlet right over there. Probably just on the other side of that wall stud. It's gotta be for the mirror. The mirror is illuminated. So I gotta have an outlet behind the mirror so I can plug the mirror into it. So anyway, so after a little bit of effort, what I determined was 2 2x4s back here is the actual spacing that I needed to be center of this mark right here. So with this right here. So what I did was I screwed this one to this wall stud back here, and then I screwed this one into this one, and then I put this up here, and as you saw, it fit. So that was right on the mark. Here's my center mark going horizontal. Here's my center mark going vertical for the sconce to mount in here. And yeah, so I pulled this board off, and I used screws instead of the nails that were a part of this because I can't fit a hammer back here to hit that. So I pulled this piece out, screwed it in, left the top and bottom screws in this 2x4 right here, and left the holes in there so it's marked. My place is marked. And then I put it back in here, and when I shot the screws in, it's already exactly where it needs to be. So what I determined was I accounted for the spacing of the thickness of this drywall. So as you see here, here's a 1/2 inch thick drywall. So what I did was I wanted this flush with the drywall like that box is there. So I went ahead and got this measured out a 1/2 inch. So there's a 1/2 inch gap back here. So yeah, if it's flush with the wall, it should be good to go. There's that. Now I need to get these wires through the wall stud. If I come around here, yeah, so right about there on the other side of that wall stud, I need to drill a hole, pull those wires through, and bring them down to that hole there so I can run it into there. I got a hole drilled up there. You could see where I came through right there. You see that hole coming through there? It goes down to this side over here to the open space that's directly behind this box. So it's right up there. Anyway, I went ahead and grabbed some Romex that I had. It was in the garage. I've used it for other projects. I'm going to take that gray wire. I'm going to feed it through here. And I'm going to run it up the wall and feed it through that hole out there. I'm going to cap them all together and stuff that back in. Then I can patch that hole, cut this out when it's through here. I can get my plate there, mount it to the box, run the wires through that, and I can go ahead and mount a light to the wall. So you can see what the light will look like. Would you just look at that?
Would you look at that?
Would you just look at it?
Just look at that.
So I got these two outlets in here, or the two fixtures mounted where they're supposed to be. They're perfectly level. You saw a minute ago, I took the yardstick here, sat it on top of the level, put it on that line on the wall there, and put it dead center on the other one, and it's level. They're both the same height. We're good to go. I did test that one. I did not test this one. It's wired the same way. It should be fine. So yeah, the wiring that comes to that one, I found out when doing it, is daisy chained to this one. So I just took this wire, added a little bit more wire to it, ran it down to that one. Took this one, added a little bit more to it, ran it down to this one. And what I just found out while I was looking at the mirror instructions on how to actually wire it up, or to see, you know, how it can be wired up, I do like the idea of being able to turn on the mirror and the sconces with a switch. So these are already wired up on a light switch. They're on the second switch here. So I'm thinking I'm going to daisy chain off that again and grab another wire, and I'm going to run through the wall stud there. I don't know if I'm going to do it off this one yet, or if I'm going to do it off this one. But I'm going to drill a hole through the wall stud, run it behind the mirror somewhere, probably right here in the center, and punch a hole in the wall. And we're going to cut the plug off the end of the mirror, and we're going to hardwire it straight into there. So I think that's the best way. Have it attached to the light switch. I don't have to worry about turning it on and off by touching the mirror. I think because the mirror does have a memory function on it, I think it will be better to just set it and forget it. Set the functions, leave it alone, turn the light switch off, the second one. And whenever I want to turn the lights on this wall here, all I got to do is flip that switch and we'll be good to go. Everything right here on this wall will light up. If we don't want the mirror light to turn on, then all we got to do is touch the mirror, because it's like a touch screen. Just touch it and it'll turn off. So no big deal. Anyway, I guess let's get this wire jumped over from one of these lights. I'm not sure which one yet. We'll see. Alright, running out of battery again on the camera over here, so we got to get to something else. I just took a spade bit and drilled a hole through that stud right there. There's a stud right here, and there's a stud right here, as you see up there. So I just drilled a hole with a spade bit that way. Came around here to the back, drilled another hole right there through that. And I'm going to take my wire, run it through the hole here, run it through the back side, right here, like that. There it is. That's the whole wire. I'm going to tie it into this right here inside that box. Just daisy chain it. And we will have power when we flip the light switch to this right here. I will strip this back, cap the wires, and keep it close, keep it hanging out of this hole till the mirror gets here. Mirror will be here a couple days. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I have too much footage to continue going with this episode. We're going to have to get another episode started. So, big things coming. I've got a vanity top coming in here. Next up, we're going to have some drywall work getting done. I'm going to fix this behind me that you see up high, down low, all that. We're not going to finish the drywall to make it pretty. We are going to be tiling this wall, so I will lightly sand it on the edges where there's, you know, a transition of some sort, to make sure that we don't have any, you know, real high spots. And that's probably unnecessary because we're going to have thin set on the wall behind the tile, which will take most of the imperfection out of the wall. So, guys, you are watching DIY Dozier. Thank you so much for watching the channel. If you like the video content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of future content being released. As always, share the knowledge, share the passion, share the skill, do it yourself.